Come and talk to me on my own on my goddamn. All right. Here's for Underhaven and Underhaven alone. No, I'm not doing fucking call-ins. Jake can come and talk to me on my own on my goddamn time. And look, Underhaven. God, all right. No, no one else is coming in. Just hang up now. Was Dylan? All right, there. It's Underhaven. All right, what the fuck do you want to talk about, considering you were going in my chat like a goddamn cat on crack?
Fitting analogy. What I wanted to talk to you about was just like the blatant disrespect that you've been offering yourself as of late.
I don't care.
You don't give a shit at all. Because I've been wanting to talk to you about this for a long time in like a live format. I'm really getting tired of you just not giving a shit about like turning yourself into a lol cow and letting yourself be made fun of on a frequent basis and being profited off of. Don't you have any goddamn self-respect? Am I really the only one who's willing to come up here and talk to you about this and be like, no, you should fucking actually do something about this?
Like what? What would you suggest?
I suggest that you fucking disengage. That's what I suggest that you do.
What, you mean with Jake?
Yeah.
Haven't covered him for a couple of days, but again, he said he's never going to stop with me, and I'm never going to stop with him. This ends when Jake bends the knee.
Yeah, because you've got
covering me.
You've got too much of a fucking ego to like turn it down.
You're probably right. I'm willing to cop that it might be just my fucking ego.
But who's the winner in this situation, man?
Probably no one. But
Nobody?
I can't let it fucking go.
You don't think the person who's making like hand over fist money like a lot of the fucking donations that he has?
I've seen Jake's numbers. He's not making that much money. I don't care. What am I supposed to do? Because Twitch is, what am I supposed to do? Report Jake? Violate one of my principles? Report Jake for fair use content?
Haven't you done that shit before?
No. I take that back. I did once. And I'm pretty sure you did it about it.
You regretted it. And you know what brought you to that point? It was this stupid fucking beef with Jake.
You're right.
It's gonna destroy you eventually, man. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that fucking happen. I you know what? It's not just when it comes.
Destroy me. How? This is internet bullshit.
It's not going to destroy your fucking life, but it's going to destroy any like integrity that you've built up here on the internet on your platform.
What?
I'm sorry. Am I wrong?
How old are you?
25. What difference does it make?
Men of my generation, internet integrity doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
It's still
and
something
also,
that you invest.
Why would it destroy my integrity? I'm right. He's wrong.
It's something that, okay, first of all, it's something that you invest a lot of your time into. You should take respect and pride in what you've built up. Should you not?
Yeah, but what you're asking me to do, I refuse to do.
What, disengage from a fucking beef that's not going to take you anywhere anywhere positive? Like, all it's done is take you to a place where you didn't even want to be, where you were willing to fucking report someone. It went against your own goddamn principles. And not only that, you've made a fool of yourself.
I'm not going to fucking let him sit there. All I do, okay, here is where I'm at. All I do is I talk about the cooking videos. Anything else he says about me, I don't respond to. And I don't respond when eventually he gives me a rebuttal to my response.
The cooking video is not even the main thing that you talk about, and you know that to be true. The main thing that you talk about, and I have no idea why it always comes back to this. Sure, the actual content you respond to, mostly cooking videos, but it always comes back to this weird shit between Jake and Sarah and their relationship.
Because I know it's doomed to fail.
They've been together for 7 years, bro.
It doesn't matter. It is going to fail, and it's going to fail spectacularly. Plus, that's a big chink in Jake's armor.
He's not dependent on, like, they're not dependent on each other at all. I'm sure, like, even if they did separate, they'd be perfectly well off. So what difference does it make? Like, they're both, independent. They're both capable of taking care of their own shit. I don't even know why Sarah comes up so much. And that's what I'm talking about, man. Whenever Sarah comes into the conversation, you make a massive goddamn fool of yourself.
I don't care.
You don't care?
No.
Really?
You're dealing with some...
You have all this pride and this ego and you don't care? I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
I have pride and ego and I stand by what I say.
I just wish you were enough of a man to realize when you're too in over your head, and this is just clearly one of those situations.
Again, I will say to you the same thing I say to Jake every fucking time I cover him. Reproduce what I've done.
It's not even, it doesn't have anything to do with the food shit, because look, I agree, like, sometimes Jake puts out some decent food, sometimes some of it's like, not for me. I don't think he's like this perfect fucking all-star chef or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with you making a fool of yourself when you get drunk, too fucking drunk. And people take advantage of that shit in your live chat on a regular basis, and you just don't fucking care? What, do you just want to be a fucking clown for the rest of your YouTube career? Because that's not what I look at you as. I still try and do this. I look at you as someone who I can respect, have an actual conversation with. Do you just want to play fucking clown for Jake for the rest of your YouTube career? I know that's not the case.
Yeah, I don't know where you think this is going, but I'm not Boogie.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay. I accept every goddamn thing that I do. Right, wrong, indifferent. I accept it. The only thing that I do is I just move the fuck on. If I make a fool of myself, oh fucking well. I just move on. It's one video in a fleet of about 1,500.
I don't want that to be what you're known for. And it's not just with people like Jake. It's with those fucking Kino Casino people. I don't want that to be your fucking goddamn legacy. I don't even know who
the goddamn Kino Casino people are. I've never brought them up one way or the other. I don't care about them.
Just another group of people who only know you for a fucking laugh and a cheap joke. Like, I'm sorry to say it, man.
I don't care.
You should. You should.
Why?
Why?
Yeah,
because
why?
Because it's something that you invest your time into, that you put your time into.
Why?
Why should you care? Don't you have... Okay, I don't get how you can, like, think highly of yourself. You can have all this pride. You're so prideful that you won't fucking end the beef with Jake on your own terms. Yeah. But you don't give a shit what anyone thinks about you.
If I back away, that's the defeat.
Oh my god. So you would rather just rake yourself against the coals for years on end, and you know that this is a situation in which you're just being profited off of. It's fucking transparent that you're just a lolcow to Jake and his community and other people's communities as well.
Well, okay, Jake's never going to stop covering me, so there's no there's nothing I can really do on that end unless I shut down the cooking channel.
If you stopped giving him material to work with, and if you stopped responding directly, then yes, he would stop and move on to somebody else.
You know, honestly, you know what Jake does now? Most of his broadcasts are focused on me. He doesn't really
Doesn't that just prove my point?
He doesn't really respond to my responses anymore. You know what he does? He picks a video from Dave's cooking show, and then he picks a segment of my live stream. How the fuck am I supposed to control that unless I just stop doing YouTube?
You're a main portion of his content, and that's because you respond on such a frequent basis.
No,
every single time.
Look at the last several streams, because I have. Normally what he does is he takes a video or two of mine from the cooking channel, and then he does a segment of either one of my live streams or a video of mine on Lord of Patriarchy. He does not do responses to me. At least he hasn't in a while. Maybe recently that changed. I have not checked Jake in like 4 days.
He popped in your chat last time.
Which, by the way, believe it or not, I that's how little I care about it.
Last time he popped into your chat, I was trying to have a civil conversation with you, and that's fine. You know, you don't have to respond to me. You can do fucking solo streams all you want. But immediately, once fucking Jake showed up in the chat, you smelled some blood, and you were like, all right, let's get him on. You're addicted to this shit. And you both are, because you both talk about each other almost every goddamn stream.
Well, go talk to him!
I'm sorry?
Go talk to him!
He's not expressed any interest in talking to me. You're the only one who's interested in talking to me, buddy. I'm sorry to say.
Well, that should tell you something.
Tell me something about him or me.
Him, have I not more approachable? And look, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
You know I'm here because I care about you, right? You think I'd be arguing this shit with you if I didn't care? I don't want you to make a fool of yourself. I don't want you to be someone's court jester for the rest of your internet career. I don't want that to be where you put a significant amount of your time where that time investment is.
What the fuck? Honestly, I'm trying to be the court jester at times. I'm here to make jokes. I make fun of people.
Entertain your audience, but don't just be a fucking fool that people laugh and joke at and be like, look at this fucking loser who has no fucking value. That's how Jake's community looks at you.
All I have to do to beat Jake is just say, okay, recreate it and make it better. Again, I cannot control what he does. You're right. I could stop responding to it. But his audience is still going to do it. They're still going to think I'm a local no matter what. That's the other thing. I'm not a local in my sphere. I don't give a flying fucking rat's ass.
It's a two-way street.
What the Jake sphere thinks.
It's a two-way street of you two feeding into each other and responding to each other. Tell you what.
Chat, who's the local, me or Jake?
Oh my God. You know what? Actually fucking do a poll, and I think you'll be starkly surprised by how many people here are just Jake fans trying to record shit to get a rise out of you. This is the point I'm trying to make to you. Do you know how many sound bites you provided him for donation?
Do? Start banning people?
No, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to stop the fucking two-way street that is responding to each other fucking constantly. I don't care if you talk.
Bring him up at all tonight.
Yeah, this is one. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, for the first time in quite a while, you haven't brought him up for an entire stream.
Didn't bring him up outside of maybe passing last night.
Yeah, but the last time you two did have an interaction was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in my goddamn life, man.
I don't care. This is the thing. If YouTube shut down tomorrow, do you know what would happen to me?
You'd probably just go back to working your job.
Nothing. In fact, I'd probably have more free time. That's
and good for you. You'd probably be happier too, if I'm being entirely honest, because at this point, you're just coming on here.
Oh no, I'm extremely happy.
You're happy? Are you happy?
Oh yeah. In fact, actually, truth be told, probably the reason that I have stuck with Jake so much is he's such an easy target. I know he's got more fans than me. But in reality, he is such an easy fucking target. Because he's a leftist loser, simp soy boy that lives off of his mommy's money. Because there's no way he makes enough from Twitch to pay rent. Let alone all the other utilities.
Is that why you keep talking to him instead of me? Because you think he's an easier fucking target and I'm actually willing to engage with you in real conversation and treat you like a man, keep you accountable.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The reason I have started to shy away from engaging people is because usually this shit takes up a good chunk of the broadcast and I can't get to the fucking videos.
Well, all right. Fine, I won't hold you for too much more of your time, but I hope that you listened to what I had to say, and I don't want you to continue to go down this path. If you get to the point, and I hope you will seriously, genuinely consider this, if you get to the point where you're starting to feel that the majority of your audience is not people who are laughing with you, but laughing at you, I hope you genuinely reassess what you're doing and change it, because you have all the power. You have all the power in this situation to change it, and you just don't.
Underhaven. If it meant dragging Jake to hell meant I had to go with him, I'd do it. If it meant destroying my entire channel to destroy Jake's, I do it.
I don't know why you two want to tether each other to yourselves like this. I feel like
It's up
you
to
could both
him.
just...
All he has to do is say, I'm not covering Dave anymore, and I'll never bring him up again.
It's not up to him. It's a two-way street. You can both make the decision. You both have the power.
I did the same thing to Resonator Zen, and he stuck to movie reviews.
All right, that's one person. Was he making as much profit off talking about you as Jake does?
I can't stop Jake talking about me again unless I violate certain principles.
I feel like we're going in circles. Do you understand what I mean when I say that is way more enabled by you responding back on a frequent basis? Not even just responding back.
I could literally be talking about strawberries, and Jake, the fat fuck, would bring it up and talk about it.
Yeah, maybe, because we've gotten to this point of being so far gone that you're like his Brett Keane at this point. He can't go with broadcast without talking about you. He does occasionally, but for the most part, like it's the norm that he talks about you and why wouldn't he? It's profitable.
And also, have you heard his critiques of my cooking video? They're pretty fucking, well, I'm going to nitpick this. I'm going to nitpick this. I would have done this differently. I would have done this totally wrong.
Yeah, I think the criticisms of your cooking videos are mostly boring. I agree with that. I don't think it makes for good content. I'd rather see him talk about literally anything else. When Jake talks about literally anything else...
He doesn't bring me up. He doesn't bring up the responses anymore. So I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. But again...
I want you to keep doing what you've done for this broadcast and move on.
When I feel the need, I'm going to fucking respond to him. And if that means that I'm a local or whatever, or it makes me a joke, or I really don't give a shit. This is the thing. This is what you and Jake and a lot of people don't get about me. I do not care. This is why I'm immune to all this shit. I do not give a sautéed rat's ass what people think about me.
Well, you should care about yourself.
There's 20 people on this planet that I care what they think about me.
You should care about yourself. You should care about your image. You shouldn't.
Why?
Why? You should just have, because you should have that basic self-respect for yourself, man. Why am I the one that has to argue this with you? Why? What the fuck do you mean? Why should you have self-respect? Do I really have to argue this with you? If I have to argue this with you, then I don't even know why I'm here right now. I don't even know why I'm trying.
Why
if I have to argue this shit with? Because I care about you, Dave. I really do.
Okay. If it got me 15 million subscribers because I poured honey on my balls next to a beehive, I do it. Okay?
I would tell you. I would tell you not to do it.
Yeah,
I'd probably beg you not to fucking do it.
At the end of the day, I have my style. I do what I do, and I do it without apology. If I do something that renders an apology, fine. I don't care. Every single stupid thing I've ever done on YouTube, I will own up to. I don't care. The only thing we can do, we can't sit there and whine and bitch and cry about the past. That is the worst thing anyone can do. All we do is we keep moving forward. Now look, I've been thinking it's time to not really deal with Jake anymore. But I'm going to keep an eye on him. I'll do that. I'm honestly wondering if I just ignore him for 2 months, is he still going to cover me?
Probably not.
Oh no, he will.
At least not as much. Like I said, man. Like part of what fuels that is you two interacting directly with each other, responding to each other on a frequent basis. You have the power. You just need to let go of some of that ego and realize that you do.
Well, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, I think I've realized through this conversation it won't.
No, that's not going to happen. And I'll be the first to admit it, too. Yeah, I am egotistical. I have an ego.
When you have a big ego, you should, like... should really be able to back that shit up.
Yeah, I actually can. Again, I can recreate Jake's dishes. He can't recreate mine.
All right. Well, as riveting of a conversation as this has been, I think it's pretty clear I'm not going to get through to you on this. But I do hope that you at least consider covering him a bit less often to see how it goes.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't care.
All right.
I'm probably not going to talk to him again. I don't see any point in that.
Yeah, last time you had that conversation, you did that really weird thing where you kind of indirectly tried to get weird pics out of Sarah. Don't go into like those live situations, especially when you're drunk.
Yeah, it couldn't have possibly been that I was joking.
Okay. It didn't seem like a joke to me, but sure, whatever. We don't have to debate about that. Yeah, all that shit aside, thanks for having me on.
Right,
I'm glad you always let me talk to you. Have a good night, man.
all right, good night.
See ya.
See ya.